The champagne flute shattered against the marble floor of the upscale Manhattan cafe, drawing gasps from nearby patrons. Calliandra Harrington, the poised daughter of billionaire media mogul Victor Harrington, sneered at the young barista behind the counter, her voice dripping with disdain. "You think you can serve me coffee with those rainbow pins on your apron? Keep your lifestyle away from my latte, freak." Jordan Ellis froze, her hands midway through steaming milk for the next order. At 28, she'd endured her share of slurs working in the city's trendy spots. But this one hit differently. Coming from a woman whose family owned half the media outlets that peddled anti-LGBT rhetoric under the guise of family values. She met Calliandra's icy blue eyes with a steady gaze, her own hazel ones unflinching. "Ma'am, if my existence offends you, perhaps you should find another cafe. But I'll make your drink just the same." Calliandra's cheeks flushed, unused to pushback from service staff. She was 26, groomed for boardrooms and galas, her life a carefully curated facade of privilege. Her father's empire, Harrington Media, championed conservative ideals, and she parroted them to stay in his good graces. But as Jordan handed over the latte with a polite nod, something in the barista's calm defiance lingered, gnawing at Calliandra like an unspoken challenge. That evening, back in her penthouse overlooking Central Park, Calliandra scrolled through her social media feeds, her mind replaying the encounter. Why had she lashed out? It wasn't just the pins. It was the way Jordan carried herself. Confident, unapologetic. Calliandra's own secrets bubbled beneath the surface. Fleeting attractions to women she'd buried deep, fearing her father's wrath. Victor Harrington was a pillar of traditionalism, funding campaigns against same-sex marriage while hiding his own hypocrisies. Meanwhile, Jordan returned to her modest Brooklyn apartment, shared with her roommate and occasional confidant, Mia. "Another rich brat today," she vented, collapsing onto the couch. Mia, a fellow queer activist, raised an eyebrow. "Let me guess, Harrington's kid? I saw her on the news last week, spouting her dad's nonsense at some fundraiser." Jordan nodded, but her thoughts drifted. She knew more about the Harringtons than most. Her late mother had been their housekeeper for years, whispering tales of scandals before passing away from cancer 2 years ago. The next day, fate, or perhaps coincidence, brought them together again. Calliandra, nursing a hangover from an obligatory family brunch, wandered into the same cafe. Jordan was there, wiping down counters during the afternoon lull. This time, Calliandra hesitated at the door, her usual arrogance tempered by a restless night. She ordered a simple black coffee, avoiding eye contact. But as Jordan prepared it, she couldn't resist. "You know, your family's network aired a segment last night calling people like me threats to society. Care to comment?" Calliandra stiffened. "That's business. Not personal." But it was personal. Her father's media machine had shaped her worldview, forcing her to suppress any deviation. Jordan leaned in slightly. "Business that ruins lives. My best friend lost her job after one of your dad's exposés outed her." The words hung heavy, and Calliandra felt a pang of guilt she couldn't shake. She paid and left quickly, but not before Jordan slipped a note into her hand. "If you want the truth about threats, look closer to home." Back at Harrington Tower, Calliandra unfolded the note in her private office. What did this barista know? Curiosity overrode caution. She began digging subtly, first through old family files, then online forums. Whispers of her father's affairs, embezzlement, and worse. A cover-up involving a young intern years ago. But nothing concrete. That night, unable to sleep, she messaged an anonymous tip line her family owned, posing as a concerned citizen. The response came fast. "Deeper than you think. Meet me tomorrow, same place." Jordan waited at the cafe's back alley during her break, heart pounding. Exposing the Harringtons could cost her everything. Her job, her safety. But her mother's stories fueled her resolve. Calliandra arrived, dressed down in jeans and a hoodie, glancing nervously over her shoulder. "What do you know?" she demanded in a whisper. Jordan crossed her arms. "Your father isn't the saint he pretends to be. He paid off my mother to keep quiet about his mistress, a woman, by the way. And that's just the start." Calliandra's world tilted. A woman? Her father, the homophobe in chief? Denial surged. "Lies. Prove it." Jordan pulled out a faded letter from her bag, Her mother's handwriting detailing payments and threats. This is proof. But using it means blowing up your life too. The confrontation escalated as Caliandra snatched the letter, scanning it furiously. Tears welled up, not from betrayal alone, but from the mirror it held to her own suppressed identity. "Why tell me?" she choked out. Jordan's voice softened. "Because I see the conflict in your eyes. You're not like him. But staying silent makes you complicit." As Caliandra stormed off, the weight of the revelation pressed down. She confronted her father that evening in his opulent study. "Is it true? About the mistress?" Victor's face hardened. "Where did you hear that nonsense?" But his evasion confirmed it. "Stay out of it, Callie. Our family's image is everything." She retreated to her room, the letter burning a hole in her pocket. For the first time, she questioned the empire she'd inherit. Jordan, meanwhile, faced her own turmoil. Mia warned her. This could backfire. The Harringtons crush people. But Jordan couldn't let go. The next shift, a mysterious customer lingered, watching her. Paranoia set in. Was she being followed? That night, a threatening email arrived. "Drop it or lose everything." Unsigned, but the implication was clear. Caliandra's internal storm raged. She met Jordan again, this time at a neutral park bench overlooking the Hudson. "There's more, isn't there?" Jordan nodded. "Your family's foundation is built on lies, tax evasion, silencing whistleblowers. My mom had evidence, but she destroyed most of it for my safety." Caliandra's hands trembled. "If I help you expose this, I lose my family, my future." Jordan reached out instinctively, her touch electric. "Or you gain your freedom." The spark between them was undeniable. A forbidden connection amid the chaos. Caliandra pulled away, conflicted. "I can't." But as she walked home, the pull grew stronger. That night, she dreamed of Jordan, strong, unyielding, and woke with a resolve she didn't know she possessed. Weeks blurred into a tense dance of secret meetings. Caliandra, under the pretense of market research, frequented the cafe, lingering after hours. Jordan, wary but drawn in, shared fragments of her life. Growing up in a conservative suburb, coming out at 18, the rejection from her father that mirrored Caliandra's fears. "He called me a disappointment," Jordan confessed one rainy afternoon, as they huddled under an awning. "But I chose truth over comfort." Caliandra envied that courage. Her own days were filled with board meetings where she nodded along to her father's tirades against woke culture. At night, she pored over the letter, cross-referencing with old financial records she'd smuggled from the office. Discrepancies emerged. Offshore accounts, hush money disguised as donations. "He's been funding anti-gay lobbies while hiding his own affairs," she whispered to Jordan during a late-night call from a burner phone. The bond deepened, laced with unspoken attraction. Jordan's laughter, her gentle challenges, chipped away at Caliandra's walls. One evening, in Jordan's apartment, neutral ground away from prying eyes, they pored over documents. "This could take down the whole company," Jordan said, her voice steady. Caliandra met her gaze. "And me with it." In that moment, vulnerability peaked. Their hands brushed and Caliandra didn't pull away. "Why risk this for me?" Jordan asked softly. "Because you're the first person who sees through the facade." But shadows loomed. Victor noticed Caliandra's distractions, assigning her a mentor, a loyal aide named Marcus, who reported her every move. "Focus on the family legacy," Victor barked during dinner. Her mother, Evelyn, a silent trophy wife, averted her eyes, knowing the hypocrisies but trapped in luxury. Caliandra felt the noose tighten. Jordan faced escalating threats. Slashed tires on her bike, anonymous calls at work. "They're onto us," she told Mia, who urged her to stop. "This isn't just about justice. You're falling for her." Jordan denied it, but the truth stung. Her heart raced at Caliandra's texts, a mix of strategy and subtle flirtation. The turning point came at a Harrington gala, where Caliandra was expected to schmooze donors. She invited Jordan as catering staff, a risky ploy to discuss next steps. In the bustling kitchen, amid clattering plates, they stole a moment. "I found emails, proof of the cover-up," Caliandra whispered. Jordan's eyes widened. "We can leak it anonymously." But as they leaned in, Marcus burst in, his suspicion evident. "Miss Harrington, your father needs you." Panic set in. That night, Caliandra confronted Marcus in the limo ride home. "What did you see?" He smirked. "Enough to know you're consorting with the enemy." Blackmail loomed. Marcus demanded a cut of her inheritance to stay silent. Caliandra's world fractured further, betrayed by her own circle. Desperate, she met Jordan at dawn in Central Park. "We have to act now." Jordan agreed, but doubt crept in. "What if this destroys you?" "I don't want that." Caliandra's voice broke. "Staying silent destroys me more." Their embrace was brief, charged with emotion, but interrupted by a jogger, reminding them of the ever-present eyes. The plan solidified. Leak the documents to a rival journalist. But morality clashed. Caliandra grappled with loyalty to her family, Jordan with the ethics of dragging an innocent, albeit complicit, woman into ruin. Is revenge worth the pain? Jordan asked herself, staring at the ceiling. As they prepared the drop, tension peaked. Victor called Caliandra into his office. "I've heard rumors. If you're involved in anything untoward, remember, family first." His words echoed her inner turmoil. That evening, Jordan received a package, photos of her and Caliandra together with a note. "End it or we expose you both." The betrayal hit hard. Who sent it? Marcus? Or someone closer? Jordan confronted Caliandra at their next meet. "Did you set me up?" Hurt flashed in Caliandra's eyes. "No. I'd never." Trust teetered, but they pushed forward, the stakes personal now. In the dead of night, they uploaded the files from a public library computer. As the upload bar filled, Caliandra whispered, "No turning back." Jordan nodded, her hand on Caliandra's shoulder, a silent promise amid the storm. Dawn brought chaos. News outlets buzzed with leaks. Harrington's affairs, financial fraud, hypocrisy exposed. Victor raged in his tower, vowing revenge. Caliandra's phone exploded with calls. She ignored them, fleeing to Jordan's apartment. "It's done," she said, collapsing into Jordan's arms. Relief mixed with terror. What price would they pay? The fallout was swift and merciless. Harrington Media's stock plummeted 30% overnight. Investors fleeing like rats from a sinking ship. Victor Harrington held an emergency press conference, denying everything as fake news, orchestrated by rivals. But the evidence was ironclad. Emails, bank statements, even audio clips Jordan's mother had secretly recorded. Caliandra holed up in Jordan's apartment, her designer clothes mismatched with the thrift store decor. "My father disowned me via voicemail," she said numbly, staring at her silenced phone. Jordan brewed tea, her own anxiety bubbling. "We knew this would happen." But the reality crushed. Jordan's boss fired her, citing association with scandal. Friends distanced themselves, fearing backlash. Society's judgment rained down. Tabloids painted Caliandra as the traitorous daughter, Jordan as the vengeful seductress. Online trolls hurled slurs, doxing their addresses. "Lesbian witch hunt," Mia called it, helping them barricade the door against paparazzi. Caliandra's internal conflict intensified. Had she chosen love over blood? Or justice over self-preservation? Victor's retaliation escalated. He hired private investigators, unearthing Jordan's past. A juvenile record for protesting at a pride event, twisted into violent tendencies. He sued for defamation, dragging them into court. "This is war," he told his lawyers. In the dimly lit lawyer's office, Caliandra and Jordan sat side by side, hands clasped under the table. Their attorney, a pro bono LGBT advocate named Lena, warned, "They'll exploit every angle. Your relationship, your identities." Jordan squeezed Caliandra's hand. "We've come this far." But doubt gnawed. Caliandra missed her old life, the security, the status. A pivotal confrontation unfolded at a family intervention. Evelyn, Caliandra's mother, arranged a secret meeting in a neutral hotel. "Come home, darling. Your father will forgive if you recant." Tears streamed down Evelyn's face, revealing her own trapped existence. "I knew about his affairs. I stayed for you." Caliandra wavered, the pull of familial duty strong. "Mom, he hurt people." Evelyn sighed. "Sometimes survival means compromise." Jordan waited outside, pacing. When Caliandra emerged, conflicted, Jordan sensed the shift. "You're considering it?" Hurt laced her words. Caliandra shook her head. No. But it hurts. That night, their first real argument erupted. You have a choice, I never did, Jordan accused. Easy for you to say, you've always been out, Calandra retorted. The words stung, exposing cracks in their budding romance. As the trial loomed, more revelations surfaced. Marcus turned state's witness, admitting to blackmail but implicating Calandra as the mastermind. Betrayal deepened the wound. Jordan's resolve hardened. She testified first, recounting her mother's stories with poise. The courtroom gasped at the hypocrisy. A homophobic tycoon with a secret female lover. Calandra's turn came, her voice steady despite trembling knees. I chose truth over lies. My father built an empire on deception. Victor's glare bored into her. A mix of fury and heartbreak. The judge ruled in their favor, defamation dismissed, but the damage was done. Harrington Media filed for bankruptcy protection. Post-trial freedom tasted bittersweet. Calandra, cut off financially, crashed on Jordan's couch, job hunting as a barista herself. Irony abounded. Jordan supported her, but resentment simmered. You gave up everything for me, Jordan said one evening as they walked Brooklyn streets. Calandra stopped, turning to face her. For us. For what's right. Their relationship evolved amid the ruins. Stolen kisses in quiet moments, shared dreams of a simpler life. But society's scars lingered. At a support group for queer survivors of family rejection, Calandra shared her story, finding solidarity. Jordan watched proudly, her own wounds healing. Yet new conflicts arose. Victor, health failing from stress, reached out via Evelyn. He wants reconciliation on his terms. Calandra agonized. Forgive for peace or hold firm. Jordan urged caution. Don't let him manipulate you again. The decision weighed heavy. In a heated discussion, Calandra snapped. He's my father. Jordan recoiled. And he destroyed lives, including mine. The rift grew, testing their bond. Ultimately, Calandra met Victor in his diminished office. I won't pretend nothing happened, she said. He nodded weakly. I was wrong. About many things. A tentative truce formed, but Calandra set boundaries. No more lies. Returning to Jordan, she confessed the meeting. I need you to understand. Jordan listened, then embraced her. As long as we're honest. The night ended in quiet reflection, their love fortified by trials. Rebuilding proved arduous. Calandra adapted to modest living, landing a job at a nonprofit advocating for LGBT rights. Ironic, given her past. Jordan pursued journalism, freelancing exposés on corporate hypocrisy. Their apartment became a haven, filled with laughter and debates, but shadows of doubt persisted. Social pressures mounted. Friends from Calandra's old circle shunned her, labeling her a traitor. At a former acquaintance's wedding, whispers followed. She went gay and ruined her family. Jordan stood by her, but the isolation stung. Is this worth it? Calandra asked one tearful night. Jordan's response was fierce. You chose authenticity. That's strength. But Jordan harbored her own guilt. Had she pushed too hard? Her activism intensified, leading rallies against media bias. Calandra joined, finding purpose, but it strained their time together. A new betrayal emerged. Mia, jealous of their closeness, leaked details of their plan to a tabloid for cash. I thought we were friends, Jordan confronted her. Mia shrugged. You changed. All about her now. The article twisted facts, portraying Jordan as manipulative. Public backlash surged. Jordan's gigs dried up. In the midst of turmoil, their emotional connection deepened. During a quiet dinner, Calandra confessed, I love you, not despite the chaos, but because of how we've faced it. Jordan's eyes softened. I love you too. The admission was a bomb, but reality intruded. Victor's health declined further. A heart attack landing him in ICU. Calandra visited, conflicted. Dad, I forgive you, but I won't change who I am. He squeezed her hand. I'm proud in my way. Evelyn, emboldened, left him, starting anew. The separation rippled. Calandra inherited a small trust, enough for stability but not luxury. She offered half to Jordan. For us. Jordan accepted but insisted on equality. They moved to a better neighborhood, building a life together. Yet, moral dilemmas persisted. A rival media firm offered Caliandra a position. High pay but echoing her father's tactics. It's a chance to reform from within, she rationalized. Jordan disagreed. Or get corrupted again. The argument escalated, highlighting their differences. Caliandra's pragmatism versus Jordan's idealism. Choosing to decline, Caliandra prioritized their relationship. You're my compass. Jordan smiled, relieved. But sacrifices accumulated. Missed opportunities strained finances. Society's evolution offered glimmers. A documentary on the scandal aired, humanizing their story. Support poured in donations, messages of solidarity. At a pride parade they marched hand in hand, symbols of resilience. Internal awakenings continued. Caliandra explored her identity, attending therapy to unpack years of repression. Jordan supported, sharing her journey. It's okay to be scared, she said. As months passed, high tension yielded to tentative peace. But a final test loomed. Victor's will revealed postmortem. He left Caliandra the remnants of the empire with a clause. Rebuild ethically. Temptation beckoned, power, influence. Jordan sensed the pull. What will you do? Caliandra pondered, the weight immense. Sell it. Start fresh. The decision liberated her, but at a cost, foregoing wealth for integrity. Their bond, forged in fire, emerged stronger. Yet, questions lingered, had they chosen right? With the empire sold, proceeds funneled into LGBT charities, Caliandra and Jordan embraced a quieter life. Caliandra wrote a memoir, detailing the scandals in her awakening, raw, unflinching. Jordan edited, adding perspectives on societal prejudice. The book became a bestseller, sparking debates on family loyalty versus personal truth. But success brought scrutiny. Interviews probed. Was it revenge or love? Caliandra deflected gracefully. Both intertwined. Jordan faced accusations of opportunism, testing her resolve. I fought for justice, not fame, she asserted. Personal growth flourished. Caliandra reconciled with Evelyn, who came out as bi in her 50s. A family secret unlocked. I hid too, Evelyn admitted over coffee. The trio formed an unlikely alliance, advocating together. Jordan's family reached out tentatively. Her father, softened by time, apologizing. I was wrong. Healing mended old wounds, but scars remained. Their relationship navigated everyday challenges. Differing views on marriage, Jordan eager, Caliandra hesitant, fearing echoes of her parents' facade. Let's not rush, Caliandra said. Jordan agreed, patience their virtue. A climactic moment arrived at a charity gala. Ironic return to glamour. Victor's old allies snubbed them, but supporters cheered. In a speech, Caliandra declared, love isn't a threat, hypocrisy is. Applause thundered, but a heckler shouted, traitor. Security escorted him out, reminding them of lingering hate. Post-event, exhaustion hit. Was it all worth the pain? Jordan asked as they drove home. Caliandra reflected. The damage we caused, to my family, to ourselves, it's irreversible. But the change? Priceless. Years condensed into routines. Shared mornings, quiet evenings. Yet, ethical quandaries persisted. When a young whistleblower sought advice, Caliandra wavered. Encourage the risk, or warn of consequences? Follow your conscience, she advised, echoing her journey. Jordan's activism led to burnout. Caliandra pulled her back. We can't save everyone. Balance became key, love sustaining them through storms. In a pivotal reflection, sitting by the Hudson, Caliandra turned to Jordan. I insulted you that day because I saw in you what I feared in myself. Jordan nodded. And I pushed you because I believed in your strength. Forgiveness sealed their pact. The story's arc closed with awakening. Society's slow shift, personal triumphs amid losses. But one question lingered, provoking thought. Was exposing family secrets an act of courage or ultimate betrayal?